Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for State of the Atmosphere. Tonight, we're going to look at the pop culture update. We got a bunch of stuff, including the Oscars to talk about, and Sweet Baby Inc. Finding out a lot about that company these days. Plus, we're going to have a review of Dune Part 2. Went and saw that this weekend, and yeah, that movie looks fantastic. I dig it. I want to go see it again in IMAX. And we're also going to touch on the retirement of an icon in wrestling. We had Sting retired over the weekend, boys and girls. So stay tuned for this episode of State of the Atmosphere. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard. Hope you're having a good Wednesday, hump day. It's good to see you guys. Man, this is really ticking me off. Oh well. I tried it and it doesn't work just the way I thought it wouldn't. Sorry, you folks on Rumble, you're not going to see it tonight, but I guess I'll chop it up into a couple of pieces and put it over there later on. But those of you watching on X and YouTube, thank you for being here for State of the Atmosphere, the pop culture show I do weekly. And as usual, I've got a friend along. Knock is here early. I'm sure we'll have some other people join us. But how are you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing really good. Excited for the weekend and
Yeah, tell them what you're doing this weekend. I didn't know you got a
yeah.
hotel room for it, man. That's
Oh yeah. So on Friday, right after work, I'll be heading up to DC. It's just about 40-minute drive into the city, and be in Crystal City, and I will be getting a hotel at the Crown Plaza for 2 days or 2 nights, I should say, and be taking the metro over to Walter E. Convention Center for the Awesome Con 2024.
Go, man.
I'm gonna meet some celebrities for the first time in my life, and get to hang out there for 3 days and just geek out.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said that the cavalry canceled, right?
Yeah, Ming Na Wen canceled. Unfortunately, I had to exchange out her ticket for something else. I ended up going with Charlie Cox,
There you go.
the Daredevil himself.
There you go.
I'm a little conflicted on that one because his timing for the photo op for his is right at the time where they're doing this little event for Darth Vader.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh man, yeah, that's rough. So
Yeah.
I'm going for anything Star Wars there.
I hear
Any
you.
little events they have for Star Wars. But Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson are going to headline the ones that I see. So I'm also going to meet Orlando Jones and Dean Norris are two others I'm going to meet. So
Really? Okay.
yeah.
Very cool, man. Sounds like you got a good weekend ahead of you, man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of small events there too. So yep.
Sounds great, dude. Well, we're going to start off with our pop culture update. Just to let you know, we're going to start like we usually do with the box office receipts. And is there any question what the number one movie was this weekend.
Mhm.
I don't think it was comes as a surprise to anybody that Dune was number one at the box office this weekend. It made $82.5 million. How you doing, John? Good to see you.
Doing okay.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It sounds like you're not too convinced, but you'll get there, I'm sure. You
Yeah.
got a busy night ahead of you. I know I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a busy day because our man Jed got me into an Xbox stream earlier today. So, and actually, I'll probably show some of that here in a little bit. I can get a graphic up for that here in a little bit. But yeah, they Xbox did their thing earlier today, showing some of their exclusive stuff. But anyway, box office receipts this weekend. Dune Part 2, the one that I've been waiting to see ever since they backed it up from last year, came out $82.5 million. Did you get to see it, John?
No, I didn't.
No, you haven't had a chance to see it yet. But yeah, it's dynamite, man. It really is. Of course, we're going to review that later on. Bob Marley's movie One Love dropped to second, I think, for the first time in a few weeks. Ever since it came out, it's been number one, hasn't it? I think it's been pulling double digit millions last few weeks. But
was it the number one or number two?
I'm pretty sure it was. It's been number one since Valentine's Day. Ordinary Angels is in at number 3. Now, Madam Web should be embarrassed. It should be. The Chosen, season 4, episodes 7 and 8. This is a show you can watch on the CW. People are going to the theater to see that more than they are a brand new Marvel movie, Sony Spider-Verse movie. So, yeah, you guys should be embarrassed. You dropped the ball on that one. I mean, so bad to where Sydney Sweeney was on Saturday Night Live busting on the movie and jokes and stuff this weekend, But yeah, like we had predicted, it looks like everybody saved their money for Dune and decided to go see that. So, and I once again we're gonna review it here in a little bit. So we'll save that for the review after we're done with the pop culture update. Breaking news before we came on tonight. Apparently, there's been a verdict in the armorer case. Looks like the Rust armorer is found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Defendant not guilty of evidence tampering, jury says. So, yeah, she's guilty of manslaughter, which, hey, man, I don't know. She didn't pull the trigger, but she wasn't doing her job either if the gun was loaded, that's for sure.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know what this means for Alec Baldwin. Wasn't he facing criminal charges as well? I think he was.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah. So, but she wasn't found guilty of evidence tampering. It's just a shame that happened. And that's just pure negligence on their part, both the actor and this girl here. Not much to say about that one, but I just wanted to let everybody know about that. Anybody got a comment on that one at all? Other than the fact that's pretty much justice in that case, if you ask me. And I mean, I saw, what's the guy that used to play Superman on ABC and Lois and Clark? Dean Cain. I saw him on Geeks and Gamers this morning. He was pushing his comic book that he's part of, and he was saying how it's just a shame that happened, and he chalked it up to negligence on both their parts, because he said when I'm handed a weapon, there's so many safety protocols. He said they put micro thin Lexan between somebody that's being shot at close range and stuff, just in case wadding comes out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he's been trained to not even put his finger, trigger discipline. The thing Gary always talks about on Pop Culture Minefield. You don't put your finger on the
Yeah.
trigger until you're ready to pull it, right? I mean, that kind of thing. So it's just a shame, man. It really is. By the way, I forgot to acknowledge the chat. Low Spec is here early, and our man E. Clay Thomas is here as well. We got a few people watching. Thanks for coming in and joining us, guys. The next story I got here looks like I'm going to have to dive into this. Of course, that 70s rock fan's a big fan of this story, and apparently it had Shogun racks up big premiere streaming numbers. The FX series also outpaces the season 2 opener of The Bear for the outlet's best Hulu debut. So it let's see. It said the 9 million streaming views for Shogun premiere equates to about 630 million minutes of viewing time, 10.5 million hours for the 70-minute episode. So yeah, they did pretty good, and I'm gonna have to get into this one. I don't know if you saw the miniseries originally, the one with Richard Chamberlain back. What was that?
Yeah.
Was it even in the 80s? It might have been right at the end of the 70s. I can't remember exactly.
I thought it was like 80, 81, I think.
Yeah, it was right around there. Let's see. Oh, check it out. Foxy's checking in on us. She said, "Hail, chat. Just checking in for a bit before the meeting." Very cool, man. Very cool. Good to see you, baby. And of course, I don't know if you guys can't see this in the. You see what her icon is? That's her in the orange T-shirt, and that's Alexander Skarsgård. She was a friggin' 12-year-old girl in that picture. Trust me, she loves that guy. It's it's from when she was working as an extra on Straw Dogs. They actually shot. If you've seen that movie, it's a remake of of an old Sam Peckinpah movie with Dustin Hoffman in it. But they filmed it 2 blocks from our house at the high school football stadium that we used to go watch our high school games at. And she met James Woods, and she took pictures with Skarsgård and what's the guy's name that played Cyclops in the Fox, the original Fox X-Men?
James Marsden.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, she took pictures with both of them, but she always uses the Skarsgård one. She's in love with that dude, so. But anyway, Shogun, it's based on a classic novel, one of those novels that a lot of people have read and enjoy. James A. Michener's Shogun.
No,
it's James Clavell. James Clavell.
Yeah.
I always get those two mixed up. I don't know why I do that. But James Clavell's Shogun, and I don't know. The previews look pretty good for it, but I'm just not really into it that much. But everybody says it's great. So, and I think, Knock, didn't you say you were thinking about benching it whenever all the episodes were done? Knoxter? Yeah, he's on mute.
Yeah, I plan on watching it when it's done.
Yeah, gotcha. John, have you dipped into this yet or no?
I haven't yet. I've got a move going on, so
yeah, you don't have time for much of nothing, do you? Yeah, I understand that completely. Well, I figured we'd touch on this one today because we do cover video games. Sweet Baby Inc. staff throwing a tantrum after Steam curator list created to track and warn players against their work. Now, if you don't know what this is about, this guy came up with a list of their games, and you could let's see, where is the guy's name? I don't want to read this whole article, but there's a Steam user has begun taking steps to ensure public knows exactly which specific titles they've worked on. And if you look at the list of them, there's a common theme through it. I mean, there are definitely ones that have spread the message, as they say. The most recent one being Justice League, kill the Justice League. It's, I don't know, man. You look at their site, And when you look at their approach, it says it right there in the title. Sweet Baby Inc. is an inclusion focused narrative and consultation company. Inclusion focused. Yeah.
Inclusion should happen naturally, not be forced.
Right. You shouldn't have to force that stuff. But you look at the titles they worked on, and they definitely have stuff in there that trip people's triggers. They really do. But I don't know if you've heard about this Justice League one, man, but it's almost a dead franchise now all of a sudden.
Oh yeah,
right here, it's got record low
It was
numbers.
never really alive.
Yeah.
That game was dead out the gate.
The only
Really?
reason it had any views is because streamers were playing it, and
Yeah.
then they stopped, and then
Yeah.
it was dead.
But
Then Helldivers came out, and then that's
right. Yeah. I've been hearing about Helldivers. But
I played it a little bit. I just
didn't the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just drop? And a lot of people are playing that. So,
Yeah.
I really want to play it. I might have to break out the problem is I skipped the first one because I wanted to wait until the whole thing was complete.
Right.
They're doing it piece by piece. It's not the whole Final Fantasy VII. So and there's still a third part to become out. So, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until PS6 is out and get the whole bundle. Because by the time the third part comes out, PS6 is going to be available. Like, I don't doubt it at all. It's probably going to be a launch title for the PS6.
The story on these guys, the Sweet Baby Inc. company, they go in there and they up these guys' ESG score. Basically, is what they do. They go in there and say, okay, you need to check these boxes. Like they were involved in the Spider-Man 2 game, kind of putting Peter Parker on the sideline, kind of thing. That kind of thing. And it's
because that's what Spider-Man people want.
I was really looking forward to playing that too. That's part of the reason why I got a PS5.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the first Spider-Man I never finished because it's one of those games where I ran into something that I couldn't get past and I just put it down. I got
really far into the first one, and I did so much of the side quests that I just got burnt out in the game.
Yeah,
and so I'm probably I think I finished within 2 or 3 missions of the end of the game,
right?
And then it just never finished. And then I never did the DLC and Miles Morales and all that stuff.
By the way, about Shogun, Clay Thomas says I watched it and it's great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Everybody,
I definitely want to check it out. I love that feudal Japan. Fucking era. It's so fun to watch if it's done right.
If you really enjoy it, and I know how much you like to read, man, you really need to read the source material. From what I hear, it's one of the greatest novels ever written. So
it's a good book.
Yeah. So
it's thick though.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's like reading Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Is it THIC thick? Is that what it means?
Yeah.
It's a thick girl. It's got a nice booty on it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what Brian said about it. That's a rock fan because he's a big fan of that book. And when he saw the trailer for it, he was afraid of the girl boss thing with the girl in there. And he says, no, it's not that case. It's something else. It's not like these girls aren't warriors. It's just they're not going to throw around guys that are 100 pounds more than they are. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that's what he was afraid of, But he says he's digging it, man. So I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. But to wrap up this thing on Sweet Baby Inc. There's a list out there of stuff that they've had their hands in, and every one of them that I've looked at has got some part of the message in it, And the one that really a lot of people were upset about on Kill the Justice League is what they did with Poison Ivy. It's almost borders on, liking younger people, if you understand what I'm saying. It's really strange. They had Poison Ivy show up as a young kid, It's really weird. If you haven't seen it, John, check it out on the internet. It's really strange. I don't know what the whole thing is. No, you don't have to. I'm just saying, if you want to investigate it yourself, go ahead. I wasn't going to show it on here, that's for sure. But keep your eyes on that company. If you're not into the this whole ESG thing. These guys are propagating it and everything. And Kotaku, here's all the proof you need. Kotaku did a defense of them and what they do today. Okay. That's not the best endorsement in the world because Kotaku is like one of the worst, So they were putting a counterpiece out to what everybody's talking about. So, yeah. So go check that out. That list is up on Steam somewhere. But anyway, next up on the pop culture thing, we've got the 96th Academy Awards are this weekend. Yes, I know. Yawn, yawn, yawn. And I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm just going to pick the major categories. And guess what? I have not, let me crack my knuckles here. I have not seen half of these movies. And I can almost guarantee you I can pick every one of these. Because
Cillian Murphy and Oppenheimer. That's
right.
Seems like a dead giveaway.
You look at the nominations here for best actor in a leading role. I would have to say the guy that is going to win this year is Cillian Murphy. I think he's actually going to pull it off.
I haven't seen The Holdovers, but Paul Giamatti, I like that guy. So.
I like him too.
Yeah,
he's been nominated in the past.
If it's going to be a political thing, it's going to be Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's a political thing, it's going to be Jeffrey Wright. But I think they kind of have to give it to Cillian Murphy because he knocked it out of the park, first of all. Secondly, he's been in a lot of movies, but he's never been the leading guy in a movie, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the closest he's come to is maybe 28 Days Later, the zombie movie. Yeah, I'm pulling for him big time. Supporting, let's see, actor in a supporting role.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Gosling's got to win that, doesn't he? Yeah.
He can do it.
He can do it. I think it's between him and Robert Downey Jr. That's what I think.
I don't feel like Robert Downey Jr. was a huge supporting role though.
I understand that.
As much as Ryan Gosling was. So.
I'm sometimes they give these things out just sometimes they'll give it out as like a career achievement award kind of thing. Because he's been nominated in the past. He was nominated for Chaplin when he played the silent movie star. Too. Yeah, he should have won that year. Yes, he should have. And this may be the makeup award he gets for not getting it that year because he's really good in that role if you've never seen it. I would say Ryan Gosling, but if anybody takes it away from him, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. That's what I think. Let's see, actress in a leading role. Got some great names here, but the one that spent the most money is Emma Stone. I can't look at one of these Hollywood rags without an ad for that crazy ass movie she's in. Poor Things. Yeah, it's
again the political is going to be Lily Gladstone.
Yeah. Lily Gladstone. Yeah, I could see that. She is actually an American Indian, so yeah, I could see that. But if it's just on how much money they're spending on the campaign, which is a lot of it, guys, and it sounds stupid, but really, I mean, if they get this in voters' faces 100 miles an hour, they tend to do that just to get them to shut up.
I have no idea what that movie even is.
It's very strange premise, brother. We covered it on here. I'm pretty sure you were here and you rolled your eyes at it whenever I was explaining what it was. But she's like, I can't remember the premise, but she's basically, she's an nymphomaniac. And I can't remember if she's a synthetic human being or what, or it's a really weird premise, dude. Yeah. But anyway, it's called Poor Things. And I didn't want to see it when I saw the synopsis of it. But I think you're right. Lily Gladstone will probably get it just for political reasons. But if it comes down to the money spent, it's going to be Poor Things. I mean, I'm telling you, I look at Hollywood Reporter and Deadline every week when I'm setting the show up, and I have seen ads for that on every friggin' web page that I click to on that rag. Okay. Actress in a supporting role.
Well, this one's going to be hard to pick.
It is going to be hard to pick because this is a bunch of really good. I don't think The Color Purple is going to get it. I don't think that shouldn't get anything. But
I don't think America Ferrera should.
it just depends on if they want to give Barbie love or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if they don't give it to Ryan Gosling, they might give it to her.
They might give it to her. Yeah. I think they want at least one acting award.
I think it would be more hilarious for Ryan Gosling to keep getting all the awards and no woman else does.
Right, and no women. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being selfish. I just think that'd be the funniest thing. Is the movie for women, about women, including women. None of them win anything except for the man. I don't know. I'm just being
Clay
mean,
says you can't say the color purple. It's the purples of color now.
Oh,
That's a good one, Clay. I'm with you on that, Knock, because that's all. Look, what was everybody talking about? Were they talking about Margot Robbie? Were they talking about America Ferrera? No, they were talking about Ryan Gosling's Ken after they went and saw that movie, man. I know I was.
It's all about Ken.
I'm telling you, he's Knuff. And that's it. He gets the Oscar, and that's Knuff. They don't get Best Picture. They don't get Best Actress. None of that stuff. Ken's Knuff, right?
Sublime.
I'd like to see Emily Blunt get one here. That's what I would like to see.
I would too. I do want Ryan Gosling to get it just to see the heads explode.
Right, to watch everybody's head explode. Yeah, absolutely. But I gotta say, I've liked Emily Blunt for a long time, and I hope she gets it in this category for Oppenheimer. And actually, between all three of the ones that are up for acting awards in that movie, I'm really pulling for her above all of them to win something for that show. You know what I mean? She was good in that movie. She really was. Yeah. Of course, she got all these other things.
What's could you go back up to animated film?
Animated film? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Animated film. There we go.
Okay. I really want The Boy and the Heron to get. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it, but it's Miyazaki. So
I wasn't even going to cover this, but I don't think the second Spider-Man movie is going to win it. I think the first one got its award, and I think they're done with that.
Elemental shouldn't even be on that list.
No, it shouldn't be. But Disney spends a lot of money to get in this stuff.
Robot Dreams is good, but it's.
But isn't this the last one he's going to do? So yeah, I could see him winning this. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's Toshio Suzuki is who we're talking about, right? This guy.
No,
or is it the first guy? Miyazaki? Yeah, that guy right there. He has made what's the one about the house? What is that one?
I gotta go. It's I know it. I just my brain just like
if I hadn't asked, you'd know the name of it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy's made some really great anime stuff. I say that drawing from my daughter's expertise. She is a huge fan of these kind of films, and she loves this guy. And it broke her heart when she found out this was going to be his last movie. Yeah, I could see them giving it to The Boy and the Heron for sure. Absolutely.
My favorite of his is Pompoko Tanuki.
No. Okay. Very cool, man. I don't. I really can't speak to it, but I trust your judgment, John. Absolutely.
It's about Japanese raccoons. They use their ball sacks to fly. They also can shape change with it.
Wow, man! Get out of here. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's see. Directing. I'm okay. Scorsese's not getting it. He's already gotten his love. Yeah. I think this is a prime spot for Oppenheimer, man. For Christopher Nolan, to get his. I think Oppenheimer is going to take a lot of these awards. I really do.
It should.
Because it was a great movie. It really was.
When is the show, anyways?
It's this Sunday. That's why I'm covering it now, man. I'm making my predictions now because it's this Sunday. They're starting it actually an hour early this year, trying to get everybody to bed before midnight because they tend to go on and on that show. I used to watch it religiously. You guys have heard me say this a million times, but now that they've brought politics into the show as much as they do, and Kimmel is friggin' the master of ceremonies again this year. So yeah, I'm really just not into it. I'll tune in for the big awards at the end of it. What's up, Jed? How you doing?
What's up, bro?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, directing. I really think Christopher Nolan. That's who I think is going to take this one. I mean, Martin Scorsese, of course, could win it any year that he makes a movie, but I really think Christopher Nolan's going to get it.
Well, I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon, but I heard it's not that good.
Yeah, I heard it drags. You know, and I have to watch it because my daughter. That's the first movie she worked on. She worked security on that movie. She walked us all around the set when we went up there. But you know, that movie was shot 3 years ago. You know,
Yeah, I was a victim of COVID.
He spends forever in post production. Forever. That guy just works on that like a demon. But anyway, then you've got a few other things here, but the one that I want to get to is Best Picture. Now, they have a ton of movies up for Best Picture. American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. And I'm pulling for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past the Academy to friggin' vote Barbie as Best Picture, though. That would not shock me in the slightest. But I would think, out of all these movies, the one I'd give it to, me personally, is Oppenheimer. I think, yeah, that's the best movie I saw last year. So, you know, thoughts about the Academy Awards in general, gentlemen? Will you be watching?
Hell no.
It is self-masturbatory theater for actors. That's all.
Hollywood's retarded elite. Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say.
Sorry, Joe. I said that.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Here's what I'll say, Joe. If you were to go live and we watch this live on our own, I will drink and watch it with you because I'm taking that one day off. If you're willing to do that, I will 100% be on the show and we will watch it together.
Do a watch along for the Academy Awards.
I will do it with you.
Oh,
if it wasn't,
if it wasn't a Sunday and not if
it was a Saturday, I would do it. But
yeah, right. I just happen to have Monday off. Well, I'm taking it off, but I should be back for my trip. I think I'll be home by 7 when it starts, and I'll get the beer out. I'm game if you are. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
You think on it?
Hey.
You think on it? I will do it.
Well, I've got a show with my brother, and actually, we're going to go about a half an hour into the beginning of the show. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but maybe
just let me know.
We might start like an hour and a half into the show. Maybe I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Up to you. Yeah.
I'll text you about it, man. We'll figure something out. But hang on one second. We've got to acknowledge one of our greatest viewers. I love him to death. It's time to say hi.
There are some who call me Tim.
That's our man, Tim. What's going on, man? How are you? You doing all right tonight? Let's see. He says, after what John said, excuse me while I whip this out. That's too good. Oh my God. Guys, I used to watch this religiously. Matter of fact, one of my fondest memories with my daughter, I think she was like 15 years old. And God, she's like 33 now. But I took her to a watch party at the local independent film place here in town. It's called the Robinson Film Center. It's one of those nonprofit organizations that promotes, independent film and stuff like that. They have the Louisiana Film Prize they give out every year for local filmmakers and stuff like that. I've always wanted to be a member of that organization. And if I ever start making money at this, I'm definitely going to do that first off. But they had a room that it's the same place that I had my 30th Clash reunion at. And this is why I knew about it. It's a nice room that holds about 125 people upstairs above the theaters. And they showed the Academy Awards. And during the commercials, they would ask trivia questions about the Academy Awards, right? and I've been watching it religiously since I was a kid. So, shoot, I guess about halfway through the show, I stopped answering questions. We took home a box full of shit. My daughter was just like on cloud nine because she loves movies just as much as I do. Right, bunch of posters and all kinds of memorabilia. They were giving it out if you got the questions right. About halfway through, I just stopped answering questions, and they would look around the room and see if anybody was ready to answer them, and then they'd look at me and I'd answer the question. It was hilarious. So it was a great time. But like I said, back then these shows were not political. They really weren't. And when they got political, people moaned and groaned.
Yeah,
And
people left.
nowadays it's a badge of honor to get up there and talk politics. So let's see. What's Tim talking about? I had the day off, took about 2-hour nap this afternoon. Nice. Very cool. Yes, I am a nerd. You're just now figuring that out, Tim? Come on, bro.
I've gotten to the point with naps where like I want to take naps, but I don't want to screw up my sleep schedule. So
yeah, it
it's
will
like,
screw it up.
man,
Yeah, it
I'm
will.
just like I really want to take a nap, but
John, ever since he's got,
Yeah.
ever since John has gone back to work, I always know when he's taking a nap in the evening because he'll show up on my late video game stream. That's how I know he fell asleep doing something because he'll
Yep.
wake up and be like, "Oh shit, Joe's on. Let me see what he's doing."
Hey, what are Joe and Jed up to? Eh?
Yeah, exactly. What are those goons doing, right? But yeah, I used to love watching it. Me and my wife, when we first got together, we turned into Entertainment Tonight channel, Entertainment Online or whatever the fuck they call it, and we'd watch the red carpet show, with all the guys coming in. But I tell you what destroyed the movie star, guys. Social media destroyed the movie star. There used to be a veil between us and them. All we heard about them was in the tabloids, and the only time we really heard about them is when they ended up on the police blotter or they were getting divorced. It was something, they'd watch the courthouses and see what was happening with them. Right now, the luster is off of them because, they're all on Twitter, showing you just how stupid they are half the time. You know what I mean? So that's really knocked it down. But there's still guys out there like Chris Pratt and Tom Cruise that don't go on social media. They don't have anything to do with it. They keep that barrier up, and they benefit from it, man. In my eyes, I mean, you don't ever see them doing anything like that. So anyway,
well, I just want to see more of Sydney Sweeney, so she can keep doing what she's doing.
Hey, if she's on there.
What Sydney Titty? What?
Yeah, Sydney Titty. That's it. Exactly. She was on Saturday Night Live this weekend, and as a matter of fact, you know what she did? She said it in her monologue. I think I'm paraphrasing here. She said something to the effect, "You've seen me in this and that and the other thing," and she said, "But you definitely didn't see me in Madam Web." She was acting like nobody went and saw it. Right? It was hilarious, baby. And God, did I keep that article up? The one I showed earlier, man. Did I show you that earlier with her in the Hooters outfit from Saturday Night Live?
You showed me that.
No,
Yeah.
you need to put it up.
I will. I got rid of it for some reason. I don't know why, but it'll be in my
shows
history.
the one from the late night show she was on. Man,
That's
what a dress.
Yep. Let's see.
There's a couple of reasons to like that skit.
There's a couple of reasons to like her. Period. Really, there is. Let's see. Let me find it. There it is. There it is right there. Yeah. That's a meme thing that I was looking at earlier, right? Yeah. Hang on a second, guys. Okay. Nice fun bags. Way to go. Way to go, Tim. Way to go. or someone would put a gerbil up their ass. Yeah. Which one of them did that, man?
Richard Gere.
Was it Richard Gere did that?
Well, what? Me and him both said it at the same time.
Okay. Rumored to have done it. He still denies it to this day.
Yeah, this is the dress she had on that night, and she was in a sketch where she was a Hooters chick too. This is what she was wearing on Saturday Night Live, but that was during her monologue right there. So, yeah, she's a sweetie, no doubt about it, man.
Careful, you don't want to be accused of.
No. That's a fully grown woman. I don't want to hear
how old is she?
shit. I don't want to hear all that.
Like
How old is
24,
she?
25.
Oh yeah, they can go fuck themselves.
She's
24.
26 actually.
26.
26,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're safe.
Definitely in the 20s.
Right.
And you know what the shit? You know the shit they're giving her now? Because I was looking at it earlier. It's because her family really loves a certain person
Yeah,
that is trying to get back in the White House.
Right.
Because we can't say his name because YouTube hates him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I don't think this was on your thing. I wanted to mention it, or at least read it out loud, what Dakota Johnson had said about Madam Web.
Really?
What I really liked. She explained about the movie. Decisions are being made by committees, and art does not do well when it's made by committee. Films are made by a filmmaker and a team of artists around them. You cannot make art based on numbers and algorithms.
That's a fact.
And
That's
I don't know. Just something about that. Just I don't know. It resonated. So
Yeah.
I read that
exactly.
earlier today. So
And that's the problem with half the Disney movies, man. I mean, okay, we'll
It's
get
the
into this in
checking
just a
boxes.
second. Let's see what Tim's saying here. She's
Oh, you
26.
done fucked up. You said the Disney word.
I think, yeah, right. She may be a bit bigger than 26. Yeah, I think that's a 36, bro. Or 32, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure.
There's definitely a couple of D's involved. Maybe
No, but
three.
she's right. There, it's supposed. Do you think?
I like
Do
that
you
one,
think
John.
these do you think these ESG sumbitches are walking up to Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, however you say
Villeneuve.
his fucking name, or Martin Scorsese, Spielberg? Are they walking up to these guys and telling them to check boxes in their movies? No, they're not. But and I heard somebody say this on another stream one time. Disney doesn't hire directors; they cast directors. They decide who's going to direct something, and then I mean, you can't tell me that the Multiverse of Madness was a Sam Raimi film. There are touches of Sam Raimi in it.
Yeah.
There's some really cool Sam Raimi moments, but that's not his movie. The only movies that he's made on his own in superhero movies is his own superhero movie, Darkman, which is a great movie, and the first two Spider-Man movies. And I really believe that the studio told him to kill off Doc Ock, because I don't think he probably wanted to do that, because that's the only thing about that movie that pissed me off. You don't kill Doc Ock. That's his nemesis. That's the guy that's, as smart as he is and is trying to take him down. That's Superman to Lex Luthor. That's what that is. You don't kill him off. That's his ultimate nemesis. You know what I mean? And
well, there's argument that that's actually Goblin, but they killed him off too.
The Goblin's crazy though. He's more of a Joker to me. You know what I mean? He's more of a Joker type character. Octopus is the guy that, he's the guy that always tried to outthink him, Yeah, and they're real too. Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, we can tell that. But they cast their directors. They don't hire directors and say, "Here, it's your vision, do it." They don't do that. I guarantee what she said is absolutely correct, Knock. She hit the nail right on the head, and that's the problem with a lot of these movies. You know what I mean? So I agree with her totally about that.
Well, if they were hiring directors instead of casting them, Chloe Zhao would have not got anywhere near Eternals.
No, she wouldn't have.
She was completely unqualified to direct that movie.
Yeah, they probably said, "Look, can you help us out with this? We'll do the action scenes. You don't have to do any of that, right?" Because she didn't. Word is she didn't direct any of the action in it.
Yeah,
she did all the other stuff, and
she was there to check a box. That's all she was there for.
Yeah, and same old. But yeah, I think it's funny that the cast of Madam Web wants to be put as far away from it as possible, and I really don't think that movie is going to hurt any of those girls' careers at all. I really don't, and I think that's why they're speaking out about the movie. You know what I mean?
This time next year, we won't remember that there was even a movie called Madam Web.
No, we won't. Yeah, it'll be swept under the rug. Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys. Well, we don't cover wrestling much on this show, but I had to talk about this one. One of
Wait. You mean Sting retired for like the third time again?
yeah, well,
like,
he's been
like
wrestling the last
Taker?
few years for AEW, man.
I
He's
know,
been-
but dude, he's like Taker. Taker retired how many times and came back? Sting's done the same thing.
well,
Well, Sting didn't retire because he wanted to retire.
no,
Sting retired because he got injured.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's only been once, and that's
Right.
because he got hurt in WWE.
Yeah.
but this time he goes out on his own.
Well, that's
volition.
good then. Wait,
He's
did
not
he
going
actually
out-
win?
Yeah. He actually used the Scorpion Deathlock on one of the Young Bucks.
Okay,
to
that's
win.
good. I
So-
want Stinger to go out.
Yeah,
on
it was
that.
at It was at Revolution on Sunday. Highly recommend checking out the match. It had an insane bit by the modern day Jeff Hardy, better known as Darby Allin. This kid has no regard for his own body. He's freaking ridiculous, the shit he does. He went through a plate piece of glass that was set up between two chairs from the top rope. He was trying to hit a fucking his big move is called a coffin drop, and basically he's trusting people to catch him when he does this, because he just folds his arms like he's a corpse and falls over backwards, actually kind of up and out when he does it, and it's really insane to see. But he did that onto the floor through glass. That was the big thing, and it really had people questioning whether or not he was hurt, because he was all bloody on his back. He shattered the shit out of that glass. Yeah, Sting
Had Sting's kids come out as past Stings.
Yep, they did during the entrance. You had the Surfer Sting out there,
and Wolfpack Sting.
Right, Wolfpack Sting, and he came out as
Sting is actually going to be at the Richmond Con.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
cool.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I know you're not really into wrestling, man, but this guy kind of transcends wrestling.
Well, no.
Really does.
When I was in wrestling in the late, I'd say, really early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I was really, because I would go over to a friend's house and their dad would get the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So WCW right before WCW ended, and WWF went into the Attitude Era.
Right.
Is when I was into wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually preferred, I would always switch to WCW first.
Yeah.
Before going to WWF.
Mm-hmm.
And because you had Goldberg, during his win streak, even though I didn't, as a kid, I obviously didn't realize it, but he sucked at wrestling. But, I liked him. And then, and of course, Sting. Sting was my favorite guy. Sting was one of my favorites. So,
yeah.
And then when they did the Wolfpack, it was awesome.
Right, the Wolfpack. Yeah.
The NWO is probably the second greatest big group faction of all time.
Yeah.
What Eddie Guerrero? Which one did he?
Four Horsemen is first.
Well,
yeah,
big group. I'm talking like a full group faction. You got.
I know,
DX.
but there was Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about more than just four, because that's basically two tag teams.
Yeah. You I know what you're saying.
I think DX would be up there too.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny with the different and world orders that they create, like Eddie Guerrero did like the Latino world order or whatever.
The LWO.
Yeah.
LWO.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
Yep. It's great. Look, Sting, I was never a big fan, but I acknowledged it. He's kind of like Cena to me. I acknowledge how great the guy is. He's just not my cup of tea. I like my guys. I liked him better when he became the guy in the rafters. Now I thought I gave him some edge. I really did. I like that a lot. But he was involved in what is today still my favorite wrestling match ever, and it's from the WCW days, like you're talking about there, Knock. It was a championship match between Ric Flair and my man, the Total Package, Lex Luger. And Sting had been injured by the Four Horsemen. They busted his leg, and Rick had the upper hand in the match, and Sting came out on crutches ringside, and it was one of these moments in the match
I remember that,
where Rick is sitting there arguing with the friggin' ref about a kick out, right? You know, it was really close to 3, and he was pissed at him, yelling at him, and Sting went over to Lex, who was hanging over the ropes towards the outside, and he smacked him in the face. He's like, "Get up!" He's yelling at him, right?
Mhm.
He said, "You're never going to
that.
get another chance at this, man." You know, and he rallies. He gets up. He starts whipping Rick's ass, right? And Rick is in trouble because eventually what happened was he got him in the rack. And if you ever watched the Total Package, who's one of my fucking favorite wrestlers of all
Lex,
time.
yeah.
When he got you in the rack, he got you on his shoulders, and he had the thighs in one hand, your spine's going across his neck, and he's got basically your chest and your neck in the other hand, and he is just going like this in the middle of the ring, and you can't get out of it. And Rick couldn't get out of it, and here comes Arn and Ole Anderson starts fucking Sting up. They start fucking him up. They grab a crutch from him and start beating him with it, and Lex sees it, drops Rick, and starts housing the fucking Andersons. He took out all the members of the fucking Four Horsemen and lost the match on a count out because his friend was in trouble. And it was so fucking great. It's one of the great endings of a match I've ever seen. Still to this day, my favorite match I've ever seen. And it was in WCW, not WWE.
Well,
back when they did good storytelling.
Yes, back when they told great stories, man.
My favorite was I think it was King in the Ring, and it was Taker and Mankind.
Yeah. Okay.
Where the fight that got Mick to I think that's the one where his ear got cut off and shit.
Is that yeah?
Is that the one where he got
time match?
Is that the one where his tooth went through his lip?
Yeah, and then Taker put him up top and put him right through the ring of the tacks.
Oh, no, we're talking two different. He lost part of his ear because he got caught twisted up in the rope.
Yeah,
and it tore off part of his ear.
Yeah,
no, you're talking about Hell in a Cell.
I think that was King in the Ring.
No, it's Hell in a Cell.
It was King in the Ring, Hell in a Cell.
Well, it might have been King of the Ring pay-per-view, but it was Hell in a Cell's the name of the match.
Yeah, I know. That's my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
That's today. He said, Vince, the reason why they stopped doing a lot of that stuff was because of that match.
Oh, I imagine.
Well,
yeah.
You know who his original partner was? Sting. I'm going back to Sting.
Mm-hmm.
His original partner was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Then notice the Dingo Warrior.
The Dingo Warrior. Yep. And when he went over to the WWE, became the Ultimate Warrior, and it was on and popping for a few years there, man. I mean, once again, the Ultimate Warrior, I dug his entrance. Didn't really dig the stick, but I love the fact that he ran down to the ring and he was amped. I thought that was great.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
90 miles an hour. It's like, dude, you can have anything for the no,
right?
Yeah, he just runs down, just gets on the ropes and shit.
I don't think I can get any more pumped about an entrance more than I did when Stone Cold, whenever he came out.
Oh yeah,
just that shattering glass.
Oh,
yeah,
breaking glass.
Because you always knew something was happening.
That first time when Stone came in and the glass shattered and he came out, and then he started walking down, and I was like, "What the?" That was awesome.
Hey, wait, that's the ringmaster. What?
Yeah. But I do want to toast Sting. Great career, and from what I understand, I'm going to watch it here in the next couple of days. Great match from what I understand. The guys on Wrestle Talk really dug it. That's where I get my wrestling news from. They thought it was fantastic. They said that entire pay-per-view was probably the best one that AEW has ever done. And that's pretty high praise because they put on some good ones.
I'm surprised the Hartley boys let him put him over.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Well, the guy was retiring, so you know what.
Well, you know,
we know how the fucking dirt bags are.
Sting, enjoy your retirement, brother. You earned it. You know.
Oh yeah.
You more than earned it. Yeah.
So I'll ask him. I'll ask him how he feels now that he's retired.
Actually, just tell him a guy in Missouri thanks him.
Yeah, exactly. Tell him somebody in Arizona thanks him.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, okay, so that's it for the pop culture update this week. Okay. Now, we are going to get into the box office record holder right now for the weekend. Box office, Dune. We're going to talk some Dune. a bigger cast. I don't think you could put on screen, man. They spent a lot. I would imagine they spent a good quarter of their budget on putting these people on screen, and I really enjoyed it. And just to let you know, whenever you see this picture right here, we're done talking about Dune. So whenever you see Ripley, remember we're done talking about Dune. But there's going to be spoilers here, guys. So be ready for that. But anyway, Dune. I've Knock and I have seen it, and really, I know the two of you know the story, so you're not.
Yeah,
gonna,
I
you're
didn't
not
have
gonna
time to
any,
watch it today,
yeah,
so
not gonna have.
I'm like, fuck it, you know.
Spoilers are not a concern for you guys.
Yeah.
It's the normies out there. I wanted
Well,
to
past the second.
Yeah, because
second
I've already
movie.
read the books and I've seen the
don't,
80s movie.
don't give too much away, Jed. All right.
Yeah.
yeah,
I know a little bit about what comes, but I haven't read the book, so
yeah.
past the second movie, I don't know a whole lot.
But
outside of someone turning into a worm, that's about it.
But as far as somebody who hasn't read the book, I have to tell you, I enjoyed the hell out of it. All the knowledge I have of Dune, I get from my stepson David, who is a big fan. As a matter of fact, he's going to see it this weekend, and I'm looking forward to talking to him about it because I know he's a lore fanatic. He's like you guys with Star Wars. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the way he is with Dune, and I really enjoyed this thing. I've been telling everybody it's an adult version of Star Wars. I really enjoy that, and I'm glad to see that they're not, as Jed likes to say, they're not holding your hand.
Yeah.
You got to figure out some of what's going on here. You know,
I told you that how much through Kultor.
right. But
Yeah.
I thought it was a fantastic movie. I love the director. I've loved a lot of the stuff he does. I dug the first movie, and if you like the first movie, you're gonna like the second one. I can tell you that. It picks up. It almost seems like minutes after the end of the first movie. It really does. And the Harkonnens, of course, are back on Arrakis, and it's all about the Fremen trying
Uprising.
to halt. Yeah, they're trying to halt spice production, and they all have different reasons for doing it.
Yeah.
And you see the politics of the Bene Gesserit a lot in this movie. That's you kind of got a taste of it in the first one, but you find out what they're really shooting for in the second one. You know what I mean? It's they've been manipulating a lot of things behind the scenes, man.
They've been trying to create the Uzak cataract.
Yeah, exactly. And I was talking to my daughter about this after she went and saw it, and I don't know if you guys will get this reference or not, but he really seems to me like Michael Corleone in the Godfather story. He didn't want to be involved in this. It was very plain in the first movie, at least the way Villeneuve is telling this story, that he didn't want to be involved in it. Told his dad, what if I'm not the future of the House of Atreides, and his dad said, hey, it's cool. You're still my son, right? And I mean, when his father died, he freaked out on his mom and said, you and your girls have turned me into a freak. I mean, he really didn't like what was going on with him, right?
Yeah.
And but he's pressed into service in this one. He it's becoming clearer and clearer that he's got to do certain things, and he knows it, or things are going to go bad. And he's, but at the same time, if he goes down this path, he's having visions of billions of people dying. He's really stuck between a rock and a hard place, and kind of like Michael Corleone, it costs him his relationship with his great love. And it's really great movie. I thought it was fantastic. The fucking special effects are fantastic. This movie, we've seen these huge budgets out of Disney, right? Man, 195 million they spent on this thing. And you see the cast. Now let me bring the cast up. Now remember that number, 195 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much did they pay out in the cast in this thing? I mean, let's look at this cast. You got Zendaya, Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, who,
Josh
by the way,
Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin,
Batista,
Austin Butler, who's
Walken.
awesome in it, as Fade Ratha. If you
Yeah.
guys were wondering if he's going to be good in that role, hell yeah, he's fucking great in it. What did you think, Knock? Did you like Fade?
Was that the ball guy?
Yeah, that's the guy from
Yeah, no,
the
he was
Harkonnens.
wicked. He
Yeah.
was pretty wicked.
Yeah, he made Batista look like small time.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I gotta say, I don't know if that's in the book or whatever, but they definitely made Batista look like a bitch in this one.
Ah.
They did.
Like they really did.
Yeah, the Beast Raven goes down poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Christopher Walken's in there as the Emperor. Of course, he's barely in it. I mean, you guys.
Yeah,
know
he
how
wasn't
this
really
dude-
much of a factor in that.
No, Florence Pugh was more in it than he was. We saw Stellan Skarsgård, of course, is Baron Harkonnen, and
Well, Rebecca Ferguson, she's Jessica. That's a huge part too.
dude, yeah, she becomes the Reverend Mother of the Friend.
I already know from the books.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah.
That's why I said I know I'm not worried about spoilers with you guys. And
I hear they don't touch on Aaliyah, so
They don't.
that's what I heard. They don't.
Wow.
They mentioned she's pregnant, but we don't get to see Aaliyah. She didn't get born.
Yeah, you do see her as a young adult in a vision.
Okay.
Anna Taylor-Joy plays her, and
okay.
And once Paul has the vision, that once he's taken the water of life and he can see things now, right? That's when he sees his sister as a fully grown girl. But she's not born in the movie. No, she's not.
Okay, yeah.
But
they did compress time because in the book, I believe it's a 2-year period where they halt Price production on Arrakis, I think, before the Emperor gets involved. In this, it's the time of her pregnancy. She's about to give birth when this takes place. I'm sorry, Knock. What were you saying?
Well, she's also talking to the womb the entire time.
Yeah, she's talking the whole time, but it's really weird. I believe now. You guys who read the book, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Paul was talking to her even when she was in the womb, right? And in this movie, it's the mother talking to her. So I think that's one of the differences I heard from these guys that have read the books. So does that sound right to you?
Remember, right? It is Paul. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because of his power, he was able to.
Right. Yeah, but it's very clear
and her
in this.
Power.
Yeah, yeah, it's very clear in this movie that the Bene Gesserits are behind all of this. They make that very clear. I don't know if it's that clear in the book, but they make it very clear that they're behind all of this. They pulled all the strings. They manipulated the Emperor into taking out House Atreides, and that kind of thing. So, it's a good movie. It's very clear they're going to do Messiah next. This encapsulated the first 2 books, and it's very clear they're going to do Messiah next. There's going to be a third one
in 4 years. It's
going to be a while before he makes it. From what I understand, he's got several other projects he's working on. So, but definitely had a feel that it was going to be a sequel. Josh Brolin's awesome as Gurney Halleck, man. I don't know about you, Knock, but I felt like he ran into Gurney, right when he needed to. He needed that guy, somebody he knew to support him. I think at that point in the story, because he was really conflicted about what he needed to do.
And I know that I guess the books and all that good stuff killed him off early, but if it wasn't Gurney, I would have liked it to have been Jason Momoa's character,
Duncan Idaho. Yeah,
Duncan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. He's a great character. I love that guy. But I thought it was a great movie. Knock, tell us what you think about the flick.
Well, I kind of agree with my brother. The first one, I think a lot of people felt like the first one kind of fell flat, but it was because it was a buildup.
Mm-hmm.
It was introducing people to that story that hadn't read the books, and it was kind of slow. There wasn't a whole lot of action to it, really, and because it was building up to the rest of the story. So I think when you got this one that had a lot of action in it, There was hardly a moment to breathe in it. That that it made the movie much better. Florence Pugh, it's funny. I'm really weird when it comes to her. I like her in movies and all the characters she plays.
Yeah.
In real life, I hate her style. I hate her fashion. I
Yeah,
don't know.
she just
I don't know.
she
I don't like
frumps
anything
herself
she.
down. It's really weird. Yeah,
So like have a
I
shaved
feel
head
you.
one day or something,
Right.
or have it really, really short. And I just don't like short hair in general. But
Yeah,
she'll have like just that feminist look, and it just looks so ugh. But when
yeah.
she's in these movies, like she looks amazing. And so
Yep.
I didn't recognize her accent. It wasn't her obviously natural accent, and so it was a little more American.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I thought it was a great movie. It did make me sad that when I looked it up and like when potentially we can get the third one, it was like 2028. I was like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
it's going to be
man.
a long time from now.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of different movies
I
he's going to
just
do.
I gotta.
between
It's one of those things where it's like I hope it gets 1 billion, just so they have to do it sooner. I'm like, okay,
Before
whatever
it
bullshit
sooner,
product
right?
you're working on, it doesn't matter to Dune
Doesn't
3.
matter. We got to
I
get
don't
this
give a
done,
shit
right?
what you're working on. It doesn't matter. I don't give. Oh, you wanted to do something for your niece, a little movie for your niece, so she can say she was in a movie. I don't give a shit. I don't know if that's really a thing.
Put her in
in
this
Dune.
I'm
one,
just
damn
saying,
it.
I don't care. Like
Let her play young Aaliyah. I don't care. Yeah.
right? Like this is a Dune movie that made $1 billion. Like
Right.
put that shit away. Put it in the
Yeah.
cupboard. That shit can wait. Like
Well,
Dune should not have to wait.
what I dug about this one, Knock, my favorite character, Stilgar. Always has been. I loved him in the '84 one. I have not. I'm gonna sit down and watch the sci-fi miniseries. I really
I
want to see
wouldn't.
that.
Yeah, nah.
No, I don't need to waste time with that. Okay.
I disagree with this. It's actually worth watching.
Okay. All right. Well, I will judge for myself. I'll
Judge
watch
for
it
yourself.
myself.
But I was like,
Yeah. Well, this is the thing.
it
I
does
love-
have book stuff in it, but then I was like, yeah.
Well, I hear the special effects are like really bad, but then
Yeah.
again,
They're
it's from the time
really,
it was
really
made.
bad.
So
Yeah.
but I loved Stilgar. I loved his devotion to the prophecy. He kept seeing
Yeah.
the signs and he was excited about it. I thought that was fucking fantastic. Javier Bardem is one of the best actors I've seen since the turn of the century. I love the guy. I love everything he does. But the thing I thought was very, very interesting to me, and that's something else I wanted to ask you guys that have read the book. The guy he kills at the end of the first movie, Jameis, he's constantly wanting to hear from him. He's constantly wondering what this guy would when he's conflicted. This is who he's, for lack of a better word, praying to. He wants to hear that guy's voice, And
Well,
I
it's
just didn't know
guilt.
if he was a bigger character in the books or what.
I don't remember him being a big character.
Mhm.
He did kill him,
Mhm.
and of course, his body went to become water for the tribe.
Right.
Yeah.
They explained that really well, didn't they, Knock? They explained that because when they showed in the speech where the for lack of a better word, the sacred water or holy water, whatever it is, they showed the actual process of them getting the water out of him and then adding it to that. They showed that, and that was really interesting. I found out a lot more about this world than I ever would have in the 84 version. I think that's one of the benefits of stretching this out over 2 movies.
The
Yeah.
one thing I felt was
84 version was long as hell, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an extended version of the
Yeah.
84.
I have the extended version on Laserdisc.
And in the extended version, you actually find out what the waters of life really are.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they actually they show the extraction of the water of life in this. It's pretty neat, man.
It's basically worm piss.
Yeah. Well, they took it straight out of a worm. You'd have to see it. It's pretty cool special effect they did. Knock, what were you going to say, bro? I'm sorry.
just to say, there was one factor that I learned after I watched the second movie that I felt like could have put this whole thing in a little bit more perspective as to how, or actually really hit home why they're going after, why the spice is so special. And then I don't even think they covered it in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Really. They forsake AI.
Yes,
They
yeah,
actually,
and you're right.
they actually put like, and their whole existence is based on not using AI computers, and
Right.
that's why they need astronavigation using spice because it gives them force-like powers in space to navigate through the stars using
Right.
people,
20
just like that one
20,000
guy at the
years.
beginning.
Yeah, 20,000 years before this movie takes place, there was something called the Butlerian Jihad. And it was basically a machine uprising of the AI.
And it was,
And
correct me if I'm wrong, it was started by the Atreides, right?
yeah,
They had a Terminator-like thing happen, and yeah, the machines took over, and
yeah, and so they wiped out. Basically, they wiped out all the thinking computers, and they're, you know, it becomes, because it almost wiped out humanity. It becomes a religious thing.
yeah, they
And
outlawed it basically. Yeah,
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 so,
and they give an example of the one guy, the security guard in the first movie, the one that when he thinks about statistics, his eyes go,
right.
and
He's,
it goes
isn't he a
white.
Mentat? Isn't
He's
that what he is?
he's
Super
basically a
hot.
human computer,
Mhm.
and that's
Yeah.
how they adapted. They became these roles, and they found substitute. But that's why spice is so it's the only way they can astronavigate, and it's going to give Paul a huge advantage in this war against the
Oh, yeah.
families.
Oh yeah,
So
whoever.
And
I felt like that little
controls the
detail
universe,
could have put the spice into a much more different perspective.
and the
but
use
it's
of
not
the
in the movie at
spice,
all.
the use of the spice also heavily mutates the user.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
They show. I think I'm with you on that, Knock. They didn't explain that. Villeneuve has not delved into that very much at all. It is passed over in the opening of the first one when they're talking about why the spice is so valuable. All they say is that
They just
that
say
the
that it's
guild
immensely
navigators
valuable.
use it to get the people through find space, or excuse me, safe avenues through the stars is what they say.
I don't
That's
even think
the whole
they
line.
even mentioned the AI thing. Like why
They don't.
use
They
it.
don't at all, and they don't mention the Mentats and what they do, the human computers. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. The doctors are Mentats as well. They're just a different classification of Mentat, right?
That's why
like
they got
Dr.
that.
Huey. Yeah, they've got a
That's
different classification. The Diamond says that they're a doctor.
Well, no, if I remember right, that Diamond is because he was a criminal.
Oh, okay.
The spice is Melanie C. What the fuck?
Spice is Melanie C. The spice melange.
Although,
right?
Tim, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Right?
Although Baby Spice is the best looking one out of them all in modern day, and I was right because I picked Baby Spice in the poll when they first came out. I said Baby Spice gonna be the best looking one when it's all said and done.
But getting back to the spice melange, you're right, Knock. They have not. Now in the '84 one, they did a better job of explaining that to you. They told you what the Mentats were, and I think they touched on the fact that they didn't have technology, thinking computers and stuff like that. I think they touched on that, but in that one they really glazed over it as well.
Well, I'm sure when we get the 3-hour Zack Snyder director's cut, we'll hear about it.
This is not Zack Snyder.
They're not releasing. They announced they're not releasing the
extended
cut footage.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So there's like an entire actor that's completely cut out of the movie that
there is
because he's not going to be in it.
It's the guy that the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, that Coen Brothers thing that was on Netflix. It's that guy. He was in there as a character. And you've seen him in a bunch of stuff. The one I always remember is the one with George Clooney. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's the short guy in the bunch.
Yeah. I know his name. He's the leader in Marvel.
Yeah. Right. He's in the Hulk movie. Yeah. He's the one that puts him on the table and gets him to, pumps him full of stuff to make him not turn into the Hulk. Yeah. But anyway, you're right, Knock. They did not. They don't really. They let you know that it's very valuable, but they don't really lean into the part. Now, if you know about the story, if you know those components of the story, you see like when they're inside the ornithopters, which I think are the coolest fucking things ever.
I love the ornithopters.
Love the way they look in this movie and everything. but you notice all the fucking instruments in there are analog. Every last one of them. There's not a digital readout to be seen, right? And that's because of this machine uprising that John was talking about. And you're right. If they dropped the ball on anything in this 2-movie set, it was not setting the stakes for, he who controls the spice controls the universe. It's true.
Yeah.
Right. And they don't really explain that well. And you're right. They don't.
Because it feels like they just pushed it off as it's just spice for greed's sake, and that's about it.
Right.
It's not
that's what it looks like. It's greed. Can you imagine the wealth? I think is a line by James Brolin in the movie. They've controlled the spice fields for 80 years. Can you imagine how much money they
do? They show the massive jump ships?
Jump ships. Not sure, man.
There's no space scenes, so I don't know.
There's no space scenes in this one. It all takes place on Arrakis.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back.
They leave the planet at the end of the movie. That's about it.
I would say 90% of it takes place on Arrakis. The scenes with the Emperor and his daughter take place where they're at, whatever planet that is. I think they said, but I didn't even register it. But the things that I really love, the fucking shit they did with the Harkonnens on Giddy Prime. That was fucking awesome. They had these fireworks shooting off that looked like ink blots hitting the air. And it's got a black sun, right? Everything was black and white. When they were out in the daylight, everything was white and black, and that was it. There was no colors. But when they were inside, you could see colors on things. But when they were out in the black sun, couldn't see anything but black and white. And it was pretty cool, man. It was really neat. Sydney Sweeney has a nice Arrakis. Yes, of course she does.
Preach, brother, preach.
But yeah, they've a story this big, though, they're going to drop the ball on a few things. But Knock, you're absolutely correct. I think the one thing that they dropped the ball the most on was the Mentats and why they use human computers and why they don't have computers doing things and stuff like that. So if there's a complaint from me, it's I would have liked to have seen them even. I mean, I keep going back to the opening of Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, all you have to do is just do a little montage and explain.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
How hard is that?
How hard is it to just have a floating screen in space? That tells you the story of it, and there's a loud bursting music, and then there's a shot down to a planet. Like, how hard is that to do? I don't get it.
But yeah, man. But now the thing that the book purists are a little bit upset about is Chani, that character. And I don't know what it is about Zendaya, but she's got to be an activist in every fucking role she's in. Apparently, I guess that's the book on this chick in Hollywood. This is what you cast her for, because unlike the book, and Tom Connors has really gone off about this a couple of times.
Yeah.
In the book, she's totally devoted to Paul. She's believes in the prophecy. She's all about him. But the way it's portrayed in this movie, guys, is they've got this monster storm field at the equator, and the true believers, you're right, the guys that are the faithful of the Fremen are all in southern Arrakis, right? And the big struggle for Paul in this movie is he doesn't want to go down there and recruit these folks to fight, because he keeps getting visions of if he goes south, billions of people are going to die. Okay. If he does this, and his mother goes south, she pretty much presses his hand, and she goes south, and
she spreads the good word.
She does. Yeah. She spreads the good word, right? That the Messiah is here, right? The Quetzalcoatl is here, and pretty much presses his hand. And at that point, that's when Chani and him start to divert, because she consistently is telling people, look, we're from the North. We don't believe in this bullshit. We need to fight for each other. That's what her character's saying.
And it was more the younger crowd too. Saying
right.
That. It seems like. the younger generation was like, "This is dumb."
And
But even a lot of them, near the end of it, I think a lot of them
had
over
turned.
too,
They had,
except for
but
her.
Johnny didn't. And
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people that are big fans of the book have a problem with that character at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because I believe in the book she goes on to have his children and all that good stuff, and it doesn't look
She's
like
his
it's going
love.
that way. Yeah.
The whole thing with the Emperor's daughters is it's just a marriage of, political marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he says that, and it looks that way. I'm telling you, this one character.
But the look of portrayal.
Yeah.
On Zendaya's face was.
Yeah, she just looked like she had been fucked over.
I can't believe you did.
Yeah.
I can't believe you've done this.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, you guys that read the books, the Holy War's coming. They tell you that at the end of this one, and it's that we're getting a third one. It's going to be Dune Messiah. It's going to be done in the third one. So, but yeah, man, I dug it. I can't believe we got to wait 4 years for the next one. But you know what? You guys now get to know how I felt when me and John felt when we walked out of Empire Strikes Back, because we had to wait 3 years for the end of that motherfucker.
Oh, fuck that. I had to wait 20 years for the next Star Wars movie, remember? Fuck that bullshit.
Let me tell you something, man. Back then, when there was no internet or nothing, we got all our information out of Starlog. You'd have been shocked.
Starlog or Cinescape.
You'd have been shocked to see some of the rumors that came. And by the way, let me throw up the titties real quick, because we're done with our discussion of Dune. Hang on a second. Let me warn everybody that we're done with spoilers. Yes, boys and girls, we are done with spoilers. Ripley is back in the house. We're ready to go ahead and go on with the show. We're done with the Dune spoilers at this point. But some of the rumors, man. You remember hearing that rumor, John, back then, that Boba Fett was Luke's dad and Darth was lying to him and shit?
Yeah.
I really think, because you remember Boba was a tough dude, and then he went out like a punk really quick in that movie, right? When he got housed, in that fight to save Han there. And I really think they did that on purpose because of that rumor. You know what I mean? I mean, the Sarlacc even burped after he swallowed him. They put an exclamation point on it, But yeah, Disney made that moot, didn't he?
Well, what's funny, Joe, is in the EU he survived as well. So
really, yeah.
Disney did not think of that. That was actually
okay. I got you. Well,
he ended up having a daughter and everything. Like,
yeah.
I think that was before he, died, not died, but came back.
What's up, lunatic? How you doing?
And it ended up being Darth Caedus, the Jason solo that killed her daughter, and then Boba Fett goes after Caedus.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually comes out. Yeah.
This is when Jason Solo was on his way to the dark side. He actually murdered her. It was one of his first acts of the evil side. He went too far.
Really?
Yeah, that's the reason why when I said this, when I saw that their son, I was like, they put a bit of Jason in there I was like, they borrowed from the EU, but didn't name him Jay. I was like, oh, you motherfuckers. Oh
man.
Yeah, naming him Ben was stupid.
Yeah, they named him Ben, and I was like, oh, fuck you guys.
I didn't understand. What did Leia really have to do with Ben? Not a whole lot. Never even saw him.
Actually, in the current canon, she's the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
That's true, but still, I guess they could have planned that from before, or that came about later, and they were just trying to scramble.
Yeah.
But that was dumb.
Well, boys and girls, it is time for our look at
titties?
The March movies. No, we've had enough titties tonight. We've had enough titties. But we always love that, though. By the way, girls, if you're listening. But anyway, let's take a look at what's coming up this month.
Oh, I saw the trailer for Kung Fu Panda 4 today. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, it's gone downhill. It's gone downhill.
This one comes
it's
out.
Not meant for you, Jed.
Next Sunday.
I don't know what you're wanting.
I used to like Kung Fu Panda, but it's gotten worse with every movie.
Yeah, this Maniac Jack Black is going to be back in theaters.
As long as it's got Jack Black, it'll be fine.
Yeah, and he's in it. Jack Black's in it. So, yeah. I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
it's not going to shock the world or anything like that. It's just another movie for kids to go see and
We
enjoy.
know what we're getting.
Just
No
yeah, you know
doubt
what you're
about it.
getting. You
Yep,
know,
absolutely.
I don't think there should be any expectations for Kung Fu Panda. It is what it
Right.
is at this point.
It's definitely doesn't have the story power that How to Train Your Dragon does for as long as it's gone on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
I got into that hype really late, and I really enjoyed How to Train Your Dragon.
Mhm.
Once like I think the latest movie came out, I caught up on all of them. And
Yeah.
really good series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, this horror movie that's coming out, I've been seeing a lot about. It's called Imaginary. If you're into the horror genre, this one looks interesting. It's a different play on the evil toy thing. A woman returns to her childhood home to discover that the imaginary friend she left behind is very real and unhappy that she abandoned him. Wow. Looks like a teddy bear is going to start killing people, boys and girls.
Teddy Ruxpin Strikes Back.
Teddy Ruxpin Strikes Back. So if you're into horror,
Hi, my name is Teddy. I want to be your friend.
but yeah, that's going to be coming on the 8th. Let's see, is there anything else?
The best thing about Teddy Ruxpin is you could put any tape in there and he would move his mouth to it.
Right.
So you can put like a porno tape in there and it.
Right.
Not that kind of tape. I'm talking cassette tape.
I know they had.
Now the one that everybody's been talking about the title of, yeah, that starts on what's the date? I just saw it. Hang on. Let me go back and see the date. My God.
Wow, Joe, wait not to do the thing.
The 15th. The 15th. That's when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's called the American Society of Magical Negroes. What this movie has to do with, I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, is anybody here interested in seeing this movie?
Yeah,
I'm just not interested in it.
No.
I just don't understand what this is all. That just makes no sense to me.
Are you saying we're not the target demographic on that?
I don't think we are. I think that's something tells me we're going to be the bad guys in that movie. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're going to be the cause of all the problems.
I swear, man. What white men just it's just
we suck.
First it's Barbie, we hate men and Barbie, and now it's
Then we got this one on the 15th as well. Arthur the King. This is Wahlberg's next
How
one.
sad is it that it's not a medieval movie? Like
right. That's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, "What? Wahlberg's going to be King Arthur?"
As soon as I saw the dog, I was like, "Okay."
I think this is loosely based on a true story. An adventure racer adopts a stray dog named Arthur to join him in an epic endurance race.
I love dogs. I really do, but I don't need any more dog movies. I really
I don't either. Yeah, I don't either.
That's not a fad that I am a fan of.
No, but look, people go see them though. People do go see these movies,
guess.
man. Yeah, they do. Okay, let's see what else we got coming up here.
All I want is my Turner and Hooch, and that's all that matters.
Not seeing much of anything here. The 17th, nah. No. Oh,
what's the one that John Belushi did? Was it the Canine?
I can't remember.
Oh, fucking no!
That's Jim Belushi.
Jim
They already
Belushi.
killed the K9 franchise.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
On the 22nd, we get the newest Ghostbusters movie.
It's probably going to be terrible because
I don't know.
Jason Reitman isn't doing this. It's somebody else.
Yeah. He's talking about the son of the original director of the film.
It's got Paul Rudd. It's got Claudia Black, who I really
I was fixing to say, Paul Rudd.
I love the cast.
I'm just saying, be prepared because it's not the people that did the original last movie.
I don't care about that.
If you're okay with.
Well,
like
it's not like the Ghostbusters of the past took me by storm in the first.
Jason Reitman was involved in the story. And
he was because I heard he wasn't.
I heard he was involved in the story, and he's a producer.
He's listed as
Okay.
a writer, and so is his
Oh,
dad.
okay.
So,
Yeah, because it was based on notes that his dad had made about a future future storyline.
Okay, I'm a little bit better than now because I
okay.
heard they weren't.
Yeah, he's not directing, but yeah, he's involved. Yeah, that's. I mean, I've got to catch up because I haven't seen the last one.
I haven't either. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to catch up before I go see
But I'm
it.
not a Ghostbuster guy, so I mean, it really
The
never
first
captured.
one,
I've
I
seen the
gotta tell
first,
you.
originals, but I've seen them, but it never really. I never
Well,
went around in the Ghostbusters.
Well, it was a big thing. It was a big thing when it came out, man. They had a cartoon. Everybody bought the toys. That was a
Yeah,
merchandising
I'm pretty
gold
sure I had the
mine.
toys, but I don't know, just
Yeah,
because it was.
everybody had a proton pack, all that stuff, man. Um, and I got to tell you, the first movie is, well, first of all, the hottest I've ever seen. Friggin' Sigourney Weaver. Oh my god, when she gets possessed, it's wow. That chick, yikes. She's pretty anyway, but damn, she looked hot as hell after she got possessed. But I mean, just to see what's his name, the freaking oh god, Peter Venkman, to see the guy, and it's the original actor that played him in the first one. You know, yes, it's true. This man has no dick. I mean, I love the Peter Venkman character because he's the punching bag of the Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? And he's once again in the trailer beating them up. Saying they're frauds and all this stuff. So that should be pretty cool. But I have to watch the other one. I heard it was good, and you guys have seen it. John, you liked it, yes, and Jed, I think you told me you liked it. So I'll have to catch up on it.
I liked the last Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, so. That's what I'm talking about. That's yeah. So
at first I wasn't sure about the kids.
Yeah,
but Finn Wolfhard
I feel like they have to pass it on, right?
Yeah, they have to pass it on, and Finn Wolfhard does a good job. And I was surprised at how well McKenna Grace worked as Egon's granddaughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
she's got the look. That's for sure.
Yeah.
She's got the look,
and she's got she's got that weird acting down pat. So you could tell she's Egon's granddaughter because she's just like him.
Right. Yeah. The social idiot type, right? Yeah. That's what I loved about Egon. I thought he was fucking great. Which he was played by Harold Ramis in the first two, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Which is that dude's one of the funniest dudes ever.
And really and that's the other thing they did with Ghostbusters Afterlife. They treated his memory properly.
Yeah. That's what I hear. I hear that it was the proper use of CGI, first of all, from what I understand.
Yes.
And I heard that if that scene didn't get you, you didn't have a heart, pretty much.
It's
good. Yeah.
I was a little weepy. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm knock. I know it didn't blow your skirt up or anything, but
I did get a little bit weepy too. So.
Yeah. But the first Ghostbusters, when it came out, it was one of the biggest things ever, man. It was huge. The summer that came out, everybody went to see it. Everybody did. Yeah.
And I went to see it like at least 10, 15 times.
Really? Wow. Yeah. I didn't go see it that many times, but I have seen a few movies, not double digits, but I think I saw Excalibur 9 times as a kid, man. Of course, that was in my D&D days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Excalibur probably 30 times.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not talking about since the movie came out. I mean, when it was in the theater, I went and saw it 9 times.
It was 11 when it came out. But Helen Mirren was my first celebrity crush. So
yeah, I imagine.
I've seen it a lot since then for obvious reasons.
Yep. Looking at this list, it doesn't look like, other than that Ghostbusters movie, there's nothing really blowing my skirt up here. Let's see. But there's a documentary here, guys, that we might have to check out. It's called You Can Call Me Bill. It's about William Shatner, boys and girls. Holy shit. Get out of town.
Yeah, I saw a thing about that. He's getting the red carpet treatment for that GalaxyCon. and
Wow.
they were definitely billing this in the emails I was getting.
Looks like he's in that get up he went into space in. That's what it looks like. There, that last picture they've got down here in the middle. I might have to check that out. I'm a big fan. Big fan of well, of course, he's my favorite captain in Star Trek history, man. He's the man as far as I'm concerned. But if you want to laugh your ass off, watch that show that he did with was it James Spader was on that show with him? Boston Legal. My God. That movie was or excuse me, that television show was freaking hilarious. My God, that was great.
I'm surprised it didn't do better, but that shit my dad says was hilarious.
What's that?
He was in a sitcom called Shit My Dad Says. It's based on a
Shit My Dad
books.
Says. What a great title.
It was spelled with, it was
right, exclamation points and
point
shit, right?
stuff, yeah. But the it's based on a series of books this guy wrote.
It sounds just like something I would
say. Stuff, all the weird stuff his dad had said over years, and it was it was a good series of books, and they made a series about it. It's called Shit My Dad Says, and it was hilarious because William Shatner was the dad. So if you get a chance, check it out.
For sure. I mean, look, I'll watch anything he does. I'll watch T.J. Hooker, dude. I mean, just to see Heather Locklear on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I'm not going to go see it in the theater, but I'll definitely check that out when it hits the streaming services.
I'm debating whether or not I'm going to meet him down there. I've already spent quite a bit.
I was fixing to say, dude, that first of all, he's going to be high priced, no doubt. His signature is going to command.
Shatner, yeah.
But I feel like how many more between him and like Ian McDermott?
It may be the last time you see him.
Brett
he is
Spinner's
not
going to
young.
be down there. I'm gonna, next week.
I've spent a lot of time with Shatner, so I'm good.
if you're up for it, Joe, I'd like to show you guys next Wednesday, before I go. We'll talk about it after the show or whenever, but I want to show I want to go down the list of things that are going to be at that Galaxy Con, and maybe you guys can point some stuff out to me because the one I'm going to this weekend is a lot smaller than the one that's down in Richmond.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, before we get out of here, if you want to pull up their site and show us what's going on, you can.
Which one?
For the one you're doing this next weekend.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. We should have time because we've only got one more movie to go over, and I really want John's opinion on this one because on the 29th, it's Kaiju time.
Oh, Godzilla vs. X-Kong.
Yes. What? Who is that? I don't. Is that new? Is that a new monster? Is that a new movie?
No, that is not a new monster, my friend. No. It's
there's a couple of new monsters in it, but
yes, there are. Who is the bad guy in this one? Have you heard of this guy before?
It's just all new for the story.
The bad monkey? I don't know.
There's also a white cold-based lizard.
Really?
Yeah. Hang on. I'll show you. I've got toys.
Okay. Gotcha.
Allison bought me some toys of this.
Okay.
So.
That's supposed to be in a box right now, John. What are you doing? You're clapping.
They're still in the box. I haven't taken them out.
No. I'm talking about in a packing box. Over his head.
It went right.
Of course, I know he's a collector. Of course, he's not going to take it out of the box.
Right, of course.
Jeez.
But
guy.
What happened to Jed?
I don't know. He fell off.
He'll be back. But yeah, myself.
Gotta go, Joe. He says
what?
He had to go.
He had to go. Okay, Jed. I'm sorry, man. Shoot. All right.
He said like 4 minutes ago, and then probably.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Obviously, there's Godzilla.
Okay. Hang on. Let me get you full screen there. There we go. Yeah. Gotcha.
And Kong.
Okay. Tilt it up a little bit or something because we're getting the glare off your monitor.
Hey, that's perfect. That's perfect.
There we go. Yeah. Perfect. Right there.
Godzilla Kong, really? Like they couldn't have
Gorilla
just
Kong. Yes.
Like, really?
Well, there's a little X there.
Oh, I thought it said Godzilla Kong. I was like, that's weird.
Oh. And then there's a little X.
It does say Godzilla Kong.
It says Godzilla X Kong. That's the name of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And this is Scar King.
Okay. And this is the bad guy?
He's the orangutan.
Okay.
Does he have any scars?
I'm sure he does. And then This is the one that you haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't show that in the trailer.
Okay.
I would have
Shinmo.
remembered the white one.
It's a cold-based Godzilla.
Oh man, he's gonna be freezing
This
everything.
one, okay.
Yeah.
What is it with movies wanting to use the same kind of ammo for the bad guys all the time? That happens a lot with movies, man. I remember there was one summer when the Godzilla movie that shall not be named came out. We saw the Chrysler Building destroyed
whatever.
twice that summer. It got destroyed by a meteorite in fucking Armageddon, and then it got destroyed
No,
by
you're
a
mistaken.
big
It only
iguana.
got destroyed once. It was just destroyed in Armageddon. That's it.
Okay,
That's
I got you.
It's the only time it got destroyed. We are going to permanently memory hold that movie if it's the last thing we do.
The last thing you Godzilla guys do, you're going to get rid of that flick. Yeah. I'm a big Matthew Broderick fan, so I cracked up at it. I thought it was fucking funny. But I'm with you on that. Godzilla laying eggs is one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever seen before in my life. I was like, no, you got to be kidding me, man. What? No, I don't think so. But Godzilla Kong, X Kong, The New Empire comes your way on March 29th. So, yeah, I wasn't. Look, I got to tell you, I was not a fan of the last one. When I saw it, I was like, they must have wrote. They must have wrote Alexander Skarsgård, who is a really good actor, a huge check to be in that movie. I could not believe he was in that flick. You know what I mean? Because it sure seemed like the Transformers slammed into the core, and another sci-fi movie that I can't think of. You saw a few of those stories collide in that movie, yeah. And it pissed my brother off because Kong got punked in it, so he didn't like that at all.
And I didn't mind it having some aspects of the core. I liked the core. I thought it was an enjoyable movie.
It's okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and I like the cast. I'm a big Hilary Swank fan. I think she's a really good actress, and I thought she's the reason why I watched that movie. The premise seemed cool to me, but some of the stuff in that movie just cracked me up. I was like, what in the hell? But anyway, so that's the movies we got coming out this month, guys. So Knock, do you want to show us what you've got going on this weekend?
Yeah, so this is the guest list that I don't think it's as robust,
expansive
as the Richmond one, but there's a few people. Aliquid Cox just got added along with Charlie Cox, so those two both coming off of Echo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bunch of artists that I don't know. I recognize her. She's in Miss Marvel.
Okay. Yeah, she's the mom. She's great. She's the mom.
She's not the mom. She's the aunt.
Is she the aunt? I thought she was the mom. I'm pretty sure she's the mom.
Nah, she's not the mom. I could be wrong.
I will look it up. You guys just continue. I will look it up. Just continue with what you're doing there, Knock.
Yeah, it just says Miss.
From Ms. Marvel, I'm sure that's all it says. They're not going to give her an entire filmography on there.
Let's see.
And what is her name again? What's her name?
I mean, and Jolly.
Gotcha.
Lonnie?
Gotcha. I just need to see what the spelling is. Let's see.
And of course, there's Charlie Cox. Probably going to try to meet Claudia Gray. She writes Star Wars books.
John is correct. She plays Auntie Ruby in it.
No, so John was incorrect.
No, I was incorrect. He
you were incorrect.
I said she was the aunt.
It was the mom.
So
definitely was not.
Knock is correct.
That just makes me racist. So.
Okay, gotcha. They all look the same to you, John? Is that what you said? Okay. Go ahead, buddy.
You got Daniel and Louise Lancada. They're in Breaking Bad. There's a few people from the Breaking Bad show in this one. Of course, you got
Jimmy. A Power Ranger.
Yep. Yeah, Jimmy. Jimmy. I texted him today because they put out the schedule for the events.
Yeah,
the small event's going to be there, and he was like, "I haven't looked at the list yet. I got a tickle in my throat, so I don't know if I'll make it. He had to call out of work today, so hopefully he gets better."
Bummer.
Dean Norris, I want to meet. I'm going to get his autograph.
Yeah,
He's
hell
in
yeah.
Breaking Bad,
Breaking
Better Call
Bad.
Saul,
Yep.
good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another Star Wars writer. I actually have her book. I think I might try
Mm-hmm.
to get her to sign it, Lila
There you
Dawson.
go. Take it with you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I plan on taking that with me to get her to sign it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to try to hang out with her, and because her and Claudia Gray, they're in a group that they're discussing writers and stuff. Their own little
Yeah.
panel. So
Okay. Cool.
that's gonna be on Friday. So that's when
All
I'll
right.
meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of cosplay, and then of course the main event for me, Hayden
Yep.
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen's going to be there.
That's the
Yep.
main reason I'm going is
Mm-hmm.
to meet him.
Yeah.
I don't recognize any of these. I don't know how much I'll be actually getting into the comics when I get there.
Right.
Probably not a whole lot. It's definitely going to be a ton of cosplay there.
Yeah. And some of those cosplayers can be pretty popular, man. They really can.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. They'll have lines.
Michael Rosenbaum, I'm going to meet him. I'm going to get his signature. He played Lex
He's
Luthor
Lex. Yeah.
in the Smallville.
Mhm.
So I'm on season 5. I was trying to grind it and get it done before this, but February went way too quickly, and
Yeah.
so
Well, it is a little shorter than
It
most
is a little
months.
shorter than most months. Yes. Yes.
but even still, I tried to grind my way through it, but I made it to season 5, and
Yeah.
but he's there. Unfortunately, Ming Na Wen canceled. I really wanted to meet her.
That sucks, man. There's always
there's-
one that you really want to see that cancels.
Yeah,
Orlando Jones. Now, my wife would want to see him. He's
I'm gonna get a photo with him.
Yep.
So
Walking
I'm
Dead
gonna
guy
meet
there. She loves that guy. Yep.
Natasha Leo Bordizzo. That's Sabine
Okay.
and Ahsoka. So I'm gonna get her autograph and a selfie with her.
And make sure you slap her now for being such a pain.
How did you survive? No.
Right? Oh, fuck. Do you survive a lightsaber through the gizzard? What the hell? There's another Breaking Bad guy I see. Raymond Cruz.
Yeah, Raven Cruz. They're going to do a panel, so I'll catch them all. I'm not going to meet them all, though. I don't know.
The girl right next to him, I have her signature. Hang on a second.
Renee Witterstetter.
She's a writer for She-Hulk, wasn't she?
I mean, it's the Sensational Seahawk, so yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
She was the colorist for that book.
Oh, it's the colorist?
Yep,
okay.
She was the colorist.
I thought she was the writer.
And she's the character that's in the story too.
Okay.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
Yeah,
let me blow that up real fast so I can show you guys a little bit of my memorabilia that I've gotten from a con. That's her right there. Renee, whatever. She's actually this character right here in the book. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff. I got hers, I want to say 2 years ago at GeekCon. That's the one. That's the local one we have here. It's about the size of the one you're going to this weekend. Knock.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
RG, man, I'm probably not gonna.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Wrong button. Go ahead. Yep.
But he was in Breaking Bad as well, but I probably won't meet him. Rosario Dawson, of course.
Rosario Dawson. You're going to see her. I know.
I'm definitely going to see. Well, I'm going to get the picture with her and Hayden Christensen together. So
you know what's funny? She could go to these things for the rest of her life, man. She was the linchpin. She was the linchpin in the Marvel universe on Netflix when some of the best stuff that Marvel ever did on television. Man.
And Marvel didn't have anything to do with it.
No, and Marvel had nothing to do with it, too. Yeah. No, Disney had nothing to do with it. Marvel had everything to do with it at the time.
Yeah,
it's Disney that didn't have anything to do with it. Go ahead.
Now, I'm kind of glad that she canceled because I did not like this. We mentioned this before. Sam Maggs wrote the book that's in between the two Jedi Fallen Order book games.
Oh shit! Okay.
And she's the one that basically put herself into this book as the main characters and made it lame and gay. And I couldn't even finish the book. So I'm kind of
careful, man. There's a beverage here.
Like I couldn't even finish the book. She did the action scenes really well, but she changed the characters just to her image, and I didn't like that. Yeah. And then Samik Moore. I guess he does the voice of Miles Morales. He canceled, so yeah.
Bummer.
Look at that song.
Yeah, a lot of cosplayers I'm seeing.
Tara Reid's gonna be there. I'm kind of tempted. I do have one more fast pass or a photo op. I might have to try to.
She's definitely your type, no doubt. Right. Yep.
So I might be tempted. I'll see when she's doing it. Tom Holland, or actually Tom Welling.
I was
Of
fixing to
course,
say Tom Holland ain't there.
Yeah. So he's doing
Smallville, yep.
he's doing Smallville Nights on Friday. I was tempted to do, but it was $200 to get that ticket. I was like, I don't feel like doing that.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, him and Michael Rosenbaum are doing like an hour show.
Look, from what I hear,
but they're doing one
Superman
on Sunday
fans-
for free. So
yeah, from what I hear, Superman fans love that show. I don't know. I just wasn't
well, they
interested
said
in it.
him and Rosenbaum, they have a talk podcast. And
Yeah.
Rosenbaum does his own podcast
Mhm.
that he does. And I've started. It's called Inside of You.
Yeah. Cool.
And I've been the next one I want to watch of him. He's actually interviewing James Gunn. That I'm
No shit. Cool.
He did it. It was 8 months ago that he did that particular interview. So I want to watch that. Of course,
you got another Power Ranger down there.
Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all. Not as many people in this, but the events there's a lot of events going on in this one that I can sink my teeth. A lot of I'm even thinking about doing. There's an event called Introduction into D&D.
Okay, there you go.
It's a couple hours long. I was like,
Very nice.
Maybe I'll it's like 3 hours long, so I don't know how long it's.
Well, you've played D&D, buddy. That's what DCUO is. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's just it's fantasy.
Tabletop. So, but I definitely think the list of next week when I showcase that Richmond Con, you'll see it, especially because there's wrestlers there.
Yeah.
I'll show you the wrestler Luger, Sting, Ric Flair, Trish Stratus.
What you got going on there, John?
Well, this is the big con coming to Kansas City.
Okay.
I don't know why it's gone to that. I wanted it to show you who the first guest was. There we go.
Oh shit! Ian McDermott. Nice.
Yep, he'll be at the Richmond Con. That's what I'm already got my ticket for his autograph.
We got Adrian Barbeau,
Paul Bettany. Oh my god.
Paul Bettany, John Bernthal.
John Bernthal, dude.
Yep.
My wife would shit. I mean, she
let's see who else is coming. Keith David, but he's only gonna be there Friday now.
Can you blow that up just a little bit, John?
Yeah.
Just scroll it up a little bit. There you go, man. There you go. Thank you. Barry Bostwick? Are you kidding me?
He's gonna be at Richmond Con too. Yeah.
Adrian Barbeau?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk? Look, that's my Helen Mirren when I was a kid, bro. That's her. Woo! Oh my God. John Carpenter was a lucky dude. I don't know why they divorced that chick. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no idea. Keith David, Will Friedle.
Oh my God, Danielle Fishel.
Yeah, they're just doing a Girl Meets World or whatever it is. Boy Meets
Charlie
World.
Hunnam. Him and he's going to be at Richmond Con.
Yeah. The girl from they're doing Rebel Moon stuff.
Really?
Yeah, the girl from Rebel Moon's there. They're doing a whole Scream thing. Sid Croft from Sid and Marty Croft.
Sid and Marty Croft. Sid Croft is still alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marty's the one who died.
Oh, shit.
Matthew Lillard as part of Scream. See, I was going to go.
Matthew Lillard has been here.
Allie and I decided not to go because we both had issues with the crowds at the last con we went to. So it was this one's going to be even bigger. It's like, we don't want to mess with the crowds.
Really? Okay.
But if I wasn't, I was going to get my D&D book signed by Matthew Lillard.
Hell yeah, man. Matthew Lillard is one of the most popular guys on this circuit. People will line up for that dude.
We're also doing they're also doing a Happy Days. We got Don Most.
Get out of town, Don Most.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's going to be there.
Ron Perlman?
Wow. Yeah, he'll be at GalaxyCon as well.
John Rhys Davies.
Wow, man.
Adam Savage.
Yep.
He goes to a lot of cons though.
Oh, Adam Savage. Yeah.
Tara Strong's going to be there.
Oh, Clock. Mrs.
Henry
Clock.
Winkler, Anson Williams. Jeff Bennett canceled.
Winkler.
So
wow, the Fonz.
Yep.
Skeet Ulrich, because it's Scream. And then Nev Campbell and Vincent
D'Onofrio canceled. And Nev Campbell canceled? Damn it.
Yep.
How can you have a Scream thing without her? Come on,
yeah,
man.
well, I was all excited till Vincent D'Onofrio canceled. And then I'm like, that was when I went, okay, I'm definitely not going. because
But
I could
dude,
have
you
gone
could still have.
myself.
That's a big lineup, man. That's a. Big
I could have
lineup.
gone by myself and not taken Allie, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to go by myself. So
Yeah, I hear you. That's cool, man. Well, if she's not comfortable with it, then why
she
even
doesn't
make
do
her?
crowds well, and I found out I really don't do crowds well anymore either. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
that Richmond Con is kind of got me nervous. That's going to be way bigger than the DC one.
Yeah.
Because there's
Oh, yeah.
so many guests. The guest lists the guest list for that one is bigger than and Awesome Con and that one that John just showed combined.
You guys just don't like crowds, I guess.
Hell no. Why do you think I go to movies on a Sunday?
Sorry,
I
guys.
get-
I worked in nightclubs for 18 years, man.
Yeah.
I can move
Yeah,
through a
I-
crowd slicker than dog shit. I can get
I
right
can, I
through
just
it.
don't want
man.
to.
Yeah. It
Well-
does not bother me at all. Yeah.
I've had just too many people getting in my way when I'm trying to go somewhere.
Yeah. They
And it just
definitely don't pay
frustrate me
attention to
and-
where they're going.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Absolutely.
If I was taller, maybe it would work, but I'm not. I don't have physics heights, so I can't go. Everybody move!
Well, you see, you could do that, but in today's world, they would start crying. So
Yeah,
you know,
that's
Yeah, that's
right.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you would get escorted out for not
Right.
being,
For causing a
know,
fucking problem.
yeah.
Yeah. When they're actually the problem, right? Yeah. Give me a break.
like, we had to take them to our safe room. It's overflowing.
Well,
because of you.
I'm so glad that you're getting to go to a con, Knock. That you're gonna enjoy it, dude. I'm telling you. So, especially that big one, man. I mean, just enjoy yourself, man. The vendors, dude, they've got some cool shit there.
Yeah,
I know-
I
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I don't know how much of walking around I'm going to get to do. All these, I've mapped out. Like I have the app, and I can schedule out like the events that are going on upstairs because it's a 3-story building. It's
Yeah.
a huge building, and
Mhm.
so you have the main stage on the top floor, and then you got a lot of the events going on up there, and then you have the middle floor, which has like most of the D&D stuff.
Right.
And then you have the bottom floor, which is the main, all the vendors, and then the photo ops and the signature stuff.
Right.
So I'm going to be going up and down those escalators all day, trying to going from the main stage down to when I need to get my photo ops time because I'm in a group. They put you in a group, which they finally gave us the times for the other day.
Yeah.
So I know when I have to be there for the photo ops, and then I got the night panel because they're doing the Star Wars panel Saturday night with
Mhm.
Hayden Christian and Rosario Dawson. I'll be front row. Well, close to the front row for that
Nice.
one. So
But guys, you got to remember something now. Knock paid extra for a VIP pass for this thing.
oh yeah,
So he's getting to the front of the line to a lot of things. If you go to these cons, especially the bigger ones, the biggest one I go to is the Fan Expo in Dallas. And the last time I went, it was a few years ago. It was actually pre-COVID. The big draw there was it was the last time Adam West was there before he died, and the Batmobile was there with him too, and that was the biggest line. And Negan and Daryl from The Walking Dead were both there, and my wife stood in line for 2 hours to get Daryl's picture done.
I really
2 hours.
regret not going to see him, Adam West and Burt Ward when they were both at Planet Comic Con.
I was about to see Carl Weathers, man, and that I missed out on
what
him.
a shame, huh? Yeah,
That's why I'm like, shit. I might have to go see Shatner, and
even though
I'm not
I
a Star
mean,
Trek guy, it's like that's really hard to pass up. And what was the other one?
I still balk at paying for a signature. I'm just like, because back in the day we didn't have to. We just
no, we didn't. No,
You know.
this is but I don't know, man.
you'd pay if you didn't bring something to sign. Yeah, you paid because you bought the picture, you bought whatever.
Right.
They didn't charge you for a selfie. They didn't charge you for any of that. They didn't charge you for signing something you brought. So
Yeah, but they know the power of the fandom now, and
and
the market will
actors,
dictate. I mean, that's capitalism for you, baby.
If there's one thing
I
I've
know.
learned from listening to the podcast with like Katie Sackhoff and Michael Rosenbaum is that they don't get a lot of work in between these shows, especially when they're contracted. They literally can't get other shows. So when they can do these little cons, they can make some money from it.
When they get older,
and then they
this
get
is how
more
they make their money.
people. that gets the con more spotlight, and so it just kind of helps all. It's a symbiotic relationship,
Yep.
for them.
Absolutely.
So
All right, boys and girls. Well, listen, that is going to do it for State of the Atmosphere this week. Is there anything you want to push? We've already pushed the con for you, Knock. You're going to bring us pictures and everything. Show us all the goodies you brought back and everything, right?
oh yeah,
Take plenty of pictures, bro. Shoot a little video. That kind of thing.
I'm gonna have to have my portable chargers with me as well, so that I can charge my phone. Because,
absolutely.
Hey, if you see a Black Series car Dune and it's under $50, buy it and I'll buy it from you.
Okay, I'll get it, and then you can buy it for $100. Got it.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. A Black Series car Dune.
Dune. Yeah.
Man, you should have hit me up you should have known me when I was at Walmart, man. I could have gotten you hooked up on all that shit.
Oh, well, there's not a whole lot of those that got out because that came out right as the car Dune ones.
Oh yeah, we had everything, and they never sold.
Wow.
They would always end up in the clearance aisle.
But anyway, let me let you guys know what's going on with the channel before we get out of here. John, anything you want to push before I do my thing here?
How about can I unpush something?
Sure.
Next Friday there will not be a show. We're not doing on the 15th because I'm moving on the 16th. So
gotcha.
I'm going to be a little busy that weekend. And I won't have internet, so I won't be able to.
To be fair, I'd be busy that weekend too.
So yeah,
right? Yeah.
So
no, we're not going to do a St. Patrick's Day stream, dude.
That's the 17th.
Oh,
I'll have internet by then.
Okay, you'll have internet by then. Okay.
I just won't on Friday because it's getting turned on at the apartment on Friday, and all my stuff will be here.
Gotcha.
I don't move here until Saturday, but Sunday, we'll do something for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh man, yeah, I'm taking that
look
Monday
at
off
Tim,
as well. So
look at Tim. He's Cara Dune. Is she in Dune Part 2?
She should have been.
Yeah, right. Should have been. Okay, so. Boys and girls, you're watching State of the Atmosphere, where we break down all the pop culture stuff from the week for you. Be sure to check it out, especially those of you that usually watch it on Rumble. Try and follow me everywhere, man. But we do this every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And then here in about 25 minutes, John and I will be on Pop Culture Mindfield's channel for the first of 2 game nights he does during the week. At 8 p.m. Central Time, he'll be doing Uncharted, and he's going to stay on Uncharted until he's done with this game. So you guys come check it out for a couple of hours from 8 to 10 tonight, Central Time on Pop Culture Mindfield's channel. And then at 11 o'clock tonight, about an hour after he goes off on his game stream, I'm going to start my second game stream of the week with a little Injustice 2 for a couple of hours at 11 p.m. Central Time. Tonight. So come check that out. And then, of course, you've got me on Friday early at 1 p.m. Central Time in the afternoon for Sketching the Privateer, the story of America's Pirate Patriot, where I'm working on my comic book. I'm going to take a break from working on the iPad this week, and I'm going to work on something that's going to end up being an alternate cover, I believe. I've been wanting to do I've been wanting to do a portrait of my family, and I think doing a portrait of the Privateer family would be a really cool, movie poster style,
Cool.
of me, the Royal Fox, American Fox, and Regal Inferno, and they're all going to look like me, Rhonda, and our son and our daughter. So awesome. I'm going to start on that this Friday, so you guys can see me do some actual pencil work over here on the drawing board behind me. So come check that out at 1 p.m. Central Time on Sketching the Privateer on my channel. And then John's second gaming night, the one he said he's not doing next week, he is doing it this week.
Yep.
At 8 p.m. Central Time, him and Knock will be on to entertain you with some Detroit Become Human. And I don't know what that actor's name that plays the detective. I remember him from Highlander
Clancy
back
Brown.
in the day.
I might
Clancy
be
Brown.
Yankee this week for that, by the way.
Okay.
You've got the con coming up, so I'm sure you'll be busy.
There's a slight chance, depending on how late the day goes, but because he does it at 9 o'clock. So
Okay.
there's a slight chance.
Okay. Well, anyway, at 8 p.m. Central Time, don't let not confuse you. He's East Coast. Okay. 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. It's Game Night with John. Detroit Become Human this Friday on Pop Culture Minefields channel. And then Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time, you can check out The Brothers Hack the Matrix, the show where my brother and I get together and show you the clown show that is 2024 in the week's headlines. So come check that out at 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. Trust me, it's better than 60 Minutes. Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, I don't think we're doing it this Sunday, but the MFR Roadhouse comes back late night. He wants to do a late night show, probably going to be 11 p.m. or midnight on Sundays coming up. Don't think it's starting this weekend, but it's just keep an eye on Jed's channel. We did a stream earlier today when they had the Xbox thing, and we didn't go over today, but we'll talk about it next week because I wanted to get the March movies in. But Xbox had one of those streams where they show you everything coming up, and there was nothing that really blew my skirt up. But check out Jed's channel for that, and keep an eye on it for the MFR Roadhouse late nights on Sunday coming up. And then this Monday, on Military Monday, on Pop Culture Minefields channel, Gary and I will be talking about The Package. I'm going to have to find a copy of this and watch it before then. It's got a couple of my favorites, Gene Hackman and Tommy Lee Jones. So looking forward to that one. It'll be at 10 a.m. Central Time on Monday. And then I don't believe I'm actually saying this. He sounded giddy as hell when he was talking about it the other day. Brian from That 70s Rock Fans channel is going to do another meeting of the Canon Film Club this Monday at 4 p.m. And he's going to do Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, apparently. So I will be busy for that one because I wouldn't even know anything about these movies. But yeah, check that out on It's Only Talk and Roll on That 70s Rock Fans channel at 4 p.m. Central Time on Monday. And this Tuesday for Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, I'm going to put a poll up this evening. So, and I'll let it go for a week up until then, but I'm going to start a walkthrough of either The Witcher 3 or Mass Effect. So you guys follow me on Twitter and check in on that poll and see. Go ahead and vote and tell me which one you want me to play, Witcher 3 or Mass Effect. I've never played either one of these games, and I'm going to start one of them next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time. And that brings us right back around to this show on Wednesday again. So we have told you what's up for the week. What do you guys want to see me play? Knock?
It's got to be Mass Effect. I don't think you should do Witcher.
Okay.
Witcher is not the kind of game you do once a week.
Okay. And John?
No, I agree. I was going to say it's hard to pick, but really, you're going to get into Witcher, and it's going to be like playing Detroit Become Human, where you want to play it all the time.
Okay.
And because I want to play that game, I want to go play it some more, and I can't because I'm doing the playthrough. So I'm you'll be that way with The Witcher. You'll get stuck on it, and you want to play more than just
I got you
2 hours. So
okay, all right.
It would take you a year at the pace in order to be Witcher 3.
Really, The Witcher 3, if I played it once a week. Okay.
If you played it once a week, it would take you a year.
Okay.
That's just the main story. If you do the DLCs, the second one isn't as big, but the first DLC isn't as big. But
it's
Blood and Wine
storylines. Yeah, Blood and Wine
is another game.
Yeah,
it's a whole other game.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a DLC for that one.
That's a DLC, and it's a whole other game.
3 DLCs for it, technically.
By the way, Tim, you're killing it in the chat, brother. He says, and I'll be trolling them, talking about the video game streams. He says, because it's 69 minutes. Yes, there you go. I said it. 69 minutes. You happy, Tim? And he said, The Package, starring John Holmes. Of course. He always had a package, right? That's what he was known for. All right, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed the show. Follow John, myself, Knock, everywhere we're at. X, Rumble, all the other social medias, and check out joesatmosphere.com going to be working on that pretty quick here. I've got a show coming up here locally, the St. Patrick's Day weekend, the weekend that John's moving. That's my next show I've got to do. That's what I'm doing this portrait for, that I'm starting Friday. I want to show people I can make them look like superheroes. So that's why I'm doing this portrait. So you guys support everybody that comes on here. Definitely check out Jed's channel. He had to go early, but I love him to death. And that's, I don't know if you noticed or not, John, you'll see it here in a second. I finally added him as a regular on our trailer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if he got to see it or not. I was hoping he would, but he showed up late today. So anyway, you guys take it easy. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. All right, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.
Have a good
Take
one.
it easy. Don't get no trouble.